Hello there, all of you absolutely lovely people. Once again, this is daximil. This is a video that I'm shooting for my second day of my 30-day video challenge, and tonight I've got a little treat for you. What I'm out here to show you is the place where I have seen twice now a being known as a pillar. Let's rotate this camera around. Now, out here on this road, I have seen this being known as a pillar twice. Once, traveling along this road like this. That's the first time. The second time I've seen this pillar was up here. See this tree up here? The pillar was up in the sky right next to the tree. And let me put my hand in there to try and display to you where the pillar was. The pillar flew in at an angle like this, and then all of a sudden, in mid-flight, went straight down into the ground. So it was like, but that's not the angle that I saw the pillar from. I saw the pillar from over at this angle. So there's a tree right there. There's only so much distance on this infrared light, so I do apologize for you not being able to see further out into the surroundings, but let's try and give you a view of what's around here. Here's more trees. Tree, and the pillar was like right here in the center. It just, and then down right in the middle of it. Now, some of you might be wondering, what is a pillar? And it was kind of interesting how I came to my understanding of this being, because first of all, I did see it out here, but if you remember the television show Lost, the smoke monster is a giant pillar. And what's interesting about it is I thought that it was just kind of a fictitious creature that the writers of Lost came up with for the story. But I was reading a book by Robert Bruce. I believe the exact title of the book is The Practical Psychic Self-Defense Handbook. I will probably end up doing a review of that book in another video for this 30-day challenge I'm doing. But what was interesting is this book was describing different negative entities that you sometimes have to deal with when, excuse me, when traveling the astral plane. And it described this being called the pillar. And it described the pillar as looking like a being made out of smoke, a pillar of smoke. And of course, here was this creature on Lost. Looks like a pillar of smoke. The book described the pillar of smoke, or the pillar being, as moving along like a column of smoke. We perceive it as looking like a cloud of smoke, but it actually behaves as if it's a two-dimensional, not a three-dimensional entity. The book describes the pillar as not being able to move or perceive anything above it or below it. Once again, you go to the television show Lost, and the smoke monster could not fly. It just kind of rolled along the ground. Also, it couldn't go over objects, which was very strange. But it couldn't pass over that fence. It had a very difficult time. If you remember the show at all, the smoke monster couldn't really go up or down. It was trapped on that forward, backward, left to right, two-plane, two-dimensional existence. And that's what this book said, is let pillars behave as if they are only two-dimensional entities. We see them as three dimensions, but they don't seem to act like they are third-dimensional. They act like they're only two-dimensional beings. Another thing what the book in the Psychic Self-Defense Handbook mentions is the pillar is not capable of crossing water, which that's another thing that you might remember from the show Lost, is that smoke monster is trapped on this island. So I found it very interesting when I first became aware of this description in this book, that I thought the smoke monster from Lost was something that the writers came up with. But no, apparently this is an entity that people run into on the astral planes. And of course it goes through, the book does, it goes through it discusses ways to protect yourself from it, how to deal with it and things like that. But once again, let's go through this. I've seen this creature in this neighborhood twice now. Let's turn the camera back around. But once again, I have seen a pillar rolling along this street here. And the second time I saw it was just on the other side of this tree. Let's bring the camera back around so you can see around it a little bit more. But yes, once again, well, let's go back around to the angle that I actually saw it from. But I saw this being coming in at this angle and then right down into the ground, which I found to be very interesting. But anyway, I thought that you guys might enjoy that little treat. This entity that I've seen in this neighborhood twice now, and it's been a long time since I've seen it, so who knows what the situation is with that. But once again, my name is Dax Allred. I love you all very much. This is the second video of my 30-day video challenge, so I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Always remember, you are important. Your needs are valid, and the same is also true for everyone else. See you.